Support LaneSide. Get something cool. All right, here we are down on the lanes with our resident two-hander, the Bearded Beast, and we are looking at some brand new technology from Radical. The Radical Evil Eye. I think that one gave me the evil eye here. Now, this is a very special ball. Though the core is 2.495045, meaning it's a symmetrical, it's anything but symmetrical. Well, technically, it's everything, including symmetrical, after drilling. Now, if you look at this core here, it can create intermediate differential numbers anywhere from 007, which is symmetrical, all the way up to 023, which is an incredibly short hook window. And I think there's only one way for us to do that, and that's to throw two different layouts, two different balls. So on the first one we've got here, we've gone with our standard benchmark layout, 4 by 5.5 by 2. That gives us about 64 degrees of val angle, which is going to mean that's going to be smooth, early, and round. And well, that's exactly what we've seen here. Now, the one thing that we did notice, though, is this is a pretty strong cover. Now, this is HK22C solid at 500, 1500 C air, which means it has some significant teeth in it. So we've already had to make a move left just to get lined up with it at first here. So we made a 5-board move left, and it struck. I think we should keep going here because we want to see exactly what this layout can offer us. And then we're going to compare it to our second layout, which is going to be considerably different. Now you can see here, the more oil I get this ball into, the more it really, really looks good. That strong cover, that HK22C solid, it definitely digs in early for me. And with the 4-inch pin to pap on it, that means it's going to be very, very high flaring and fairly early flaring. So we're going to see it pick up early and then kind of be smooth down lane. And we're going to make another move here to see what we can do with this ball, because we want to know exactly what kind of range we've got with this layout. So I've moved another 5 boards left here. Oh, finally. You can see I got a little bit too much around that one and just got just a touch down, too far down lane. This is an easy fix. I can just come up the back of it here. Now, when they wanted to make this ball, we've heard Phil talk about these super symmetrical balls, these gap fillers between symmetricals and asymmetrics. I mean, this ball, it says it's symmetrical. At 2.495045, it is a symmetrical ball, technically. But it's those after drilling numbers with that unique core shape, it creates a lot of versatility with not only what we can do with our surfaces, but what we can do with our layouts. You can see there, I came up the back of that one. I changed my axis rotation from about 90 degrees down to about 60 degrees. Got the ball to pick up, and it looked fabulous. This, for me, this could be probably a heavier oil, like medium to heavy oil benchmark. You can see it left-handed there with Trebor. Now, when we want to see how a ball stacks up, we always compare it to a benchmark. And right now, we've got the Turbo X, and you can see that is a smooth ball. 4 by 7 by 2 PAL. This is very, very similar to what we've got on our Evil Eye. Now, on our easy house shot here, we're going to be able to compare. You can see it is quite, even though we've got our benchmark layout on it, we see this one about 5 to 10 boards stronger. And that's going to be all cover stock at this point. We're comparing apples to apples, layouts to layouts, and you can see we need to keep the Evil Eye in the oil longer on our easy house shot, where the Turbo X we can get a little bit more out into the dry and try to create some more shape. Here we are down at lane level. Once again, you can see our Turbo X. Now, we use a ball like this because every company has something similar. Something with similar core numbers, something with similar differential. The cover stocks may be a little bit different, but essentially they all do the same thing. So everyone can compare apples to apples. Well, the Evil Eye is not an apple. It's a It's a spiny fruit from the high seas. Now watch it one more time as we throw it through the lane pattern here. That is a huge difference in where it goes through the oil there and where it comes off the deck. Now here we are with layout number 2. Now we went with a 5x5x4, so we went with much less intermediate differential, and we went with a different pin to pap distance. So we change where the ball flares. As we know, asymmetric, once you go over 3 3/8, the flare is the same. It's just where it flares, whether it be early, in the middle of the lane, or farther down the lane. Well, with this 5-inch pin to pap and a 35-degree val angle, we've created a much faster response, farther down lane reaction. So we've created two very, very different reactions. Let's throw it again here as I make a small move. If I ever come back on the screen here. So one problem with being a two-hander is I just seem to run out of lane. You can see there how much faster, or maybe you can't see how much faster it responded to the friction as it got out there. Rather than being more round and a little lazier like I like my benchmarks, that ball saw the friction and changed direction. So we're going to throw one more with this. This is going to be really interesting for one-handers and two-handers because you're going to be able to really kind of choose the reaction that you want, whether you want this to be more symmetrical, more asymmetrical. It's going to appeal to more bowlers. For you pro shops out there, this is going to be more versatile to drill for your senior players who may be rev dominant, might be speed dominant. This is going to be a very, very, I'm going to say, influential piece. Look at it. Look. It still comes back. You can see it's a much faster response. It's a little more forward because we're getting around 23 points of intermediate differential. This is going to be a very influential ball because you're going to be able to drill multiples of these and really see a difference in the bag. You're going to be able to drill one for heavy oil, one for medium oil, one symmetric, one asymmetric. Now here we are again with our Turbo X. We've already seen how smooth it is. Now we want to compare what we saw with the Turbo X before with the second layout that we put on the Evil Eye here. So you remember how deep we were with the first one. We are farther right. We actually are able to, even though our drill angle is shorter, we're actually able to get a little bit more distance out of it and a sharper reaction down lane. Watch as we do the slow motion here. You can see as soon as it sees that end of the pattern there, rather than going and being round, it just kind of makes its move and rolls. Now, it might be hard to see that comparing the Turbo X and the Evil Eye. So we're going to take one more look from the lane level here. Boy, that thing looks good. Let's compare it one more time to our Evil Eye with the 5-inch pin and the 35-degree val angle. This one is going to have around 23 points of intermediate diff, around 53 points of total diff. It's pretty strong. Watch it in slow motion here. Watch where it enters the oil pattern compared to the Turbo X. And it starts to hook as soon as it leaves the oil pattern. You can see it start to rev up. Now that, as I said, that might be harder to see. So why don't we compare the two right on top of each other? So we've got the 4-inch versus the 5-inch. I think you can see it there, the difference. The 2-inch pin over line versus the 4-inch pin over line. So 64 degrees of val angle versus 30 degrees of val angle. Watch the difference in the ball motion here. Watch as they come down lane. They're decently close there. And then one goes down farther and snaps, where the other one is much archier. So we've created two very different, even though they're within about, let's say, five boards. We'll see it again here. Even though they're within about a 5-board hook window, watch where the fingers, you can see it there as the green fingers start to come up. You can see they flare in a much different place on the lane, which means the 5-inch one is going to react a little bit farther down and have a little bit more energy. Watch it here. So watch. There's one flared up. There's the other one flared up. That's a huge difference in reaction. So this is going to be something that you can drill multiples of and really fill up your bag. Give your opponent the evil eye. I know it's kind of tacky pun, but I don't know how better to say that this ball, this is going to be special, and you're going to want multiples. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a show. So until next time, we'll see you LaneSide.